Revolt. Yeah, you talking about before?
Interesting thing. I had a chance to go to Virginia, Williamsburg, Virginia.
Okay.
And it was interesting that the guy there on that was giving the tutorial, talking to people and everything, he said that when everybody came over on the Mayflower, everybody had equal footing. Equal footing.
What's that mean?
That means that everybody had to support the poor for 3 years, then they all were given land.
You talking about black people too?
Yeah.
The slaves that came in the bottom of those ships?
Everybody that supported the poor.
Deported the what?
Supported the fort.
Supported the Union?
The fort. When they built the fort there. So even the Commonwealth, anybody came had to do that. And they didn't care who you were.
So you talking about before Bacon's revolt? Okay. Before I completed all of my studies of that early colonizing, the act of the things that the Moors did as far as colonizing. They were the first ones to colonize America, to begin colonizing America. International trade, bringing stuff to America, bringing people to America and taking resources back. And they started in Mexico. So I'm working with a lack of knowledge here, talking to this guy here, but that was a few years back, and since then, that was about 4 years ago, I did extensive study of other people's research, Cui Mayo, IUIC, they have some books. I did my own study with the Moors. I did study with Dane Calloway. A lot of these people, there's probably just a couple of the people I named that don't believe the story of the Israelites, that we are the Israelites, and the whole story behind that. Well, I know Cui Mayo does, IUIC, the Moors. I don't think as an organization they buy into the concept that we are, they back in their minds or individually they might know and hear the truth, but they might have ears to hear the truth. But I know Dane Calloway, he's way off base, but his study on the Native Americans is accurate. That's because the research that he brought was what do you call it? Accurate, and it could be trusted. Okay, there's another word that we use for that. I can never think of it. I need to write it down and put it on my desk here. But it's accurate, and it's can be trusted. It's trusted. It can be trusted, reliable, because he used censor records. He used law. He uses they all do. That's how you find it. We use dictionaries. We use ancestry records, and when we found out the books that was written by the Crusaders and the pioneers that came over here before Columbus, and the Bible especially, it talks about it lets you know the history, the true history, and how slavery went down in this country. A lot of Israelites believe that that the white man scattered all the Israelites from West Africa and brought them over here, and then came over and took the Native Americans back over there. The Native Americans that we refer to is the 9 tribes that was here, that came over here before the Babylonian, after the Babylonian, the Syria captivity. Okay, after the Syrian captivity, about, I don't know how many years before the Babylonian captivity, the Israelites, the northern tribes, they had already been disconnected from the Commonwealth, from Israel. They were considered outcasts. Okay, they were considered not a people. So they decided to come over here. You can look in Second Ezra and find this. They decided to come over here to the Americas, and where they claimed they want to keep the laws of God. They wanted to be somewhere away from the other people over there, from the rest of the people on the earth. They want to come somewhere where nobody would bother them. And so they did that. And that was at least 600 years before Christ. Okay? And we know there was another 1,000 years or so after that, that the Romans ruled, right? The Romans ruled after 70 AD. There was a period after that the Moors ruled Rome and ruled Europe, okay, under King James, okay? So we know all of that happened. But what we're talking about is when the Americas first became colonized. It's the last part of our history. It's the ending part of our captivity. It's the last captivity. It's when the beast, the dragon, and the whore would hold us in captivity, right? So we're talking about the beginning of the captivity in America, the beginning of the whore, which is Babylon, modern day Babylon, America, which they call themselves the United States, and they eventually start calling themselves America. We're talking about that particular time here, and that's where the Israelites usually take it up from. We know our ancient history, but we can't seem to get it straight when it comes to the understanding how important it is to know all of the history from King James losing the kingdom, from King James began the colonization. Why is that important? Because these people here is going to use that to gaslight all the prophets, and like I said, that's what religion does. Religion is not was not set. The religious movement was not designed to trick their way into heaven, to fool God, and somehow take our identity and show up in heaven saying, we're the new Israelites. Didn't you see the new books we copied and the new books we published, new Bibles we published? So God, you got to let us in because we're the new Israelites. We rewrote your Bible and we deserve to come in. No, that's not the reason they designed the new religion, Christianity. Is not the reason. They didn't think they were going to trick God and somehow we take our place and show up in heaven and take our place in the end time. Religion was designed to cut us off from being a people. It was, and also to be the punishment, to be the tool to cut us off from being a nation, to make us forget that we are the people of God. Since we forgot on our own and start worshiping devils, then God allowed us to be taken all the way in, to be taken all the way away into that madness. To that lie that they created was the lie that would hold us in dumbfounded, away from our heritage and our identity, until God got ready to wake us up. It was to destroy our mind and our identity, okay, and our hearts, okay? So this is what they use to gaslight us. They use this to gaslight us. This first part of history that we as prophets never can get right and bring it out, because the first thing, it makes us look real stupid and not have it together. So the people who don't know the full story, they'll never want to sit and listen, because it's so confusing right here. This first bit, the beginning of the diaspora, the beginning of the end of the diaspora. Okay, and that's how they moved us around here in America. Because we say they killed all the native Indians. When then that forced us to try to explain what happened to the Northern Kingdom then. If they killed all the Native Americans, and you say the Native Americans were the Northern Kingdom that came over here, the 9 tribes, and they killed 70 million of them, and now it's just a few of them, Native Americans. But you say, but they left all the white Mexicans, okay? They are the new Northern Kingdom. A lot of people can't get with that either, because we know that don't make sense either. That don't make sense right there, right? Because the Southern Kingdom spent more time in captivity than the Northern Kingdom, right? For one reason is that they were here on this land almost 2,000 years. If they had mixed with the nations, the heathens, before they came here, then they had 1,000 years and more than 1, 2, 3, 4 generations to turn back brown, right? So we know most of the Northern Kingdom turned brown. That was most of it, because they never had time. They never spent time with the Edomites like we did, right? They were never in their custody as long as the Jews. So if the Jews did not turn mulatto, light skin, then there's no way that you can say 9 tribes were raped that much to where it turned all of them light skin. There's no way. It don't make sense. You can't say it was just 70 million people over here. We've been here 500 years, and it's 40 million of us now. But what you don't realize is that all of those dark and mulatto mixed people on the adjoining islands of America and down in South America, all of those brown and dark brown and light brown people say they are related to the slaves that they brought here from Africa and landed on North America. They all say that. You can go look at it. There's people down there talking to them right now. Ace, there's another guy down there, CEZ or something, whatever. He's down there. He goes to all the ghetto spots in all those islands down there, and he asked those people, and they claim that they are the Native American Indians. The Native Americans, not the Native Americans, but the Africans, their ancestors they're the offspring of their ancestors that were brought here from Africa. And they just took them a little farther down, but they all came from Africa. That can't be true, because that would make all of them Jews. So now we really got a big dilemma. What happened to the Northern Kingdom? What happened to those 9 tribes? You can't say they took all those 9 tribes back over in England. That's not the slave. That's not the slave ship ride that the Bible is talking about. The only way you can explain this with any common sense, with any thing that makes sense in logic, is that the Native Americans, the Northern Kingdom that was here when the Europeans took over the colonization of America, they moved those people down on those islands. They say it themselves. They explain they got there on slave ships. We know that had to be the only way they could get there if the 12 tribe, if the chart is right, if Genesis 49 is right, in which we know it is right. So that's the only way you can explain it with any common sense and common logic, is that those people had to be taken from North America down and scattered on those islands. That's the only way you can explain it. So if that is the case, then we need to start explaining this thing different. one thing we also have to realize is that they did not take all the Northern Kingdom down on those islands. You said, well, that would be saying that all of the Northern Kingdom or all the Israelites didn't go on in slavery on slave ships. They did. They did. We all went into slavery because Esau rules the world, right? And we are all his slaves now. All over the world, we are Esau's slaves over the world in captivity, right? But we all did not go in chains, right? Okay? So I didn't go in the chain, and I'm a slave right now. So we know that you didn't have to go in chains to be in slavery. That meant a group of people went in chains. A group of people was chained until they were destroyed. A group of people were moved on slave ships. Everybody didn't go on slave ships. I didn't go on a slave ship, but I'm an Israelite. So we got to start defining this thing right, man. We got to define it right. If these people, these religious making people, is going to use that to keep the truth separated and divided, to keep us from knowing the truth and keep us divided, we should be gathering up. So, and another thing, if together and resist the devil, we got to defeat their laws of justice. What they call justice ain't justice. And we complaining every day, every night. We on TV, we on the news, we on YouTube saying, look what they did to this one, look what they did to that one, look what they did to this one. So evidently your YouTube videos, your news stories is not doing the job, right? It's not doing the job, right? It's not doing the job. So if you want to gather all the people up, you got to start with the truth. You got to tell the truth. And part of the truth is, part of the truth is that all of us, all the Native Americans aren't dead. All the Northern Kingdom didn't go down on islands. Some of the Northern Kingdom, a lot of the Northern Kingdom, actually 250,000 families had farms at the emancipation to 1865, at the emancipation of slavery. They showed up and they claimed they had paperwork, they had everything to say, hey, we are the free men that was on those plantations. Y'all don't want us to say we're Indians, because you know that was against the law during the Jim Crow, and when they started doing the land grab and bringing people over here to take our land. That's when the chattel slavery, Dred Scott, he was one of the first men put it in perpetual slavery, and after that we all became perpetual slavery, and they've been tweaked perpetual slaves, chattel slaves, and they've been tweaking it ever since with eminent domain, Jim Crow laws, Christian code, police shooting us down. They're tweaking it to hold us in captivity. So what we have to do, at least to get on one page and become one mind in Christ, we have to tell the truth so we can get everybody in agreement. And, you know, I know you camps are having fun being in authority, telling everybody what's right and wrong, and being the new gatekeepers. But you're not true gatekeepers if you're not telling the truth, man. You need, a lot of camps are. They camp out of Dallas, Sakari. They're telling the truth about the Native Americans. It had to be over 70 million people still here. It had to be. If we're the sands of the sea, it's over 100 million brown and mulatto, light-skinned mulattoes down in South America, Brazil, saying that they came over here on the slave ship, that they went there on slave ships. Over 100 million. That's not counting the 2 or 3 million in Haiti, Jamaica. You got them in Honduras, Cuba, Colombia, Nicaragua. These are all the islands and places that these men, Ace, you can look at him, ACE, you look at his videos, he's going into, they are the ones, men by themselves going down in there interviewing these people. And they partying and drinking with them. I think Ace has made a big step to call them the diaspora. He's calling them the diaspora. So I don't know what he's saying off of camera, but he's by himself down there. If anything, you guys should encourage him and give him money to help him on his trips. There's other guys going in all the ghetto spots on all them islands. And if they can do it by themselves, I know we can do it. I know all these camps, all this YouTube money, all this donation money, that y'all getting, and y'all just want to sit up and make videos and live in your big houses and eat the good food and come out and argue with people and call them stupid and dumb and have debates. Man, y'all need to get busy, man. Y'all need to get busy, or else God going to remove all of us off of here if we don't tell the truth. That's why I don't care if you don't like me. You don't have to send me no money. God already blessed me. And, and I'm ready to die for my country, for the Israelites. I'm ready to die. So I'm telling the truth. I'm telling you, those Jim Crow laws, they already have the secret treaty of Verona. I mean, they already got the Peace and Friendship Treaty, the rights of indigenous people, and human rights. The rights and human rights, and the Constitution. Those are all the laws combating the UCC codes that these people, they use them against us. They'll call the police on us in a minute, man. If, these people, these religious organizations will call the police on us in a minute. And they are the main reason, because we haven't debunked them and they know we don't know. You see, he didn't want to give me much of that history when he knew I didn't know a lot of it. But he was listening to a guy in Virginia. No, you know the history. You got the patch on your chest, man. You got the patch on your face. You know that history. He knew that history. I know it now. A lot of other Israelites know it now. So we got to start teaching that. Why do we have to teach that? Because this is still our land. We have to claim where we walk. We have to claim where we walk in order to make the laws and the rules stand. We have to get together and come together in one place and claim that we are human. God left us human rights, unalienable rights through the Constitution, through the indigenous people of this land. The God-given rights through our heritage. We have to claim the laws of our heritage. And that we stand together. No other nation rule over us. What gave them the right to rule over a free people? Who set them in place? They're going on the laws and the system that their people set up. They didn't fight that white supremacist war. Are they ready to fight that? Are they ready to fight it because they got nukes? Because the Most High can knock them out anytime he wants. We just discovered that opioid overdose has killed more people than gun violence. So that's retribution. That God said he would knock them, he would hit them harder and as fast as they hit us. So just like they made us put dope and shit in our community and had us killing each other over territory and over drugs, they are dying. They're buying the drugs. They're selling the drugs and buying the drugs and dying. They didn't have more deaths than we have over the whole gun violence in 2022. They lost more people than we did in gun violence. So the Most High is retributing them. He said he would slap them hard and fast. Everything they do to us, he gonna hit them that much harder and faster. So that was a beautiful thing for me to hear that. All the things they do to harm us. God, we don't know what other areas that they are losing the fight with the Most High, Yah in. They're not telling us about it, And even this report is only talking about Cook County, Chicago. It's only talking about Cook County, and they're only displaying the blacks, the Israelites that have died. But we already know that reports say that it's more of them that have OD'd Their young people and their elderly white women in their 70s have died. More of them have died than everybody that have died over the overdose, over the whole period that the fentanyl's been out. So, you know, this is just a little bit to help us get through what we're going through, and we got to get back. We got to get back and come together and use these laws. Use the law to resist the law. We got to use our human rights, our common sense human rights, to say you can't do that to us. You can't govern us. You still holding us in captivity, and you guys didn't fight to hold us in captivity. You got a few police out here, and you got a few nukes over here. You're not gonna nuke your own country. You're not gonna send jets in and start bombing us. You're not gonna send drones in and start bombing your own country, because that means all-out civil war, and you know you guys couldn't live in peace. You can't live in peace. Look what happened in Somalia. Black Hawk Down. You know, look, God, how many times have they attacked us, and God used he used the angels to destroy them? How many times in history? How many times did he make them think that they were being attacked, and they started attacking each other? God can do all of that. So we got to stand up and resist the devil, and he will flee from us. We got to stand up, stand by them laws. And when you see them choking out your family and friends and executing your families and friends, you got to execute them to stop it. You have to do it. I don't care if it means you got to die. At least you would get some of those oppressors off. You will get some of those oppressors off the earth. If they're going to put our warriors and our good people off the earth, then God is going to start destroying them. I'm not saying do anything but be in self-defense and guard your people. Set up, like I've been saying, you got to set up perimeters. You got to set up guards. You got to let them know they're not governing us anymore. And before we do that, we have to stand up and tell them we're all awake, and we realize that we did not authorize them to govern us. And if they keep doing it, that means they are at war with us, because they are violating the Peace and Friendship Treaty, the rights of indigenous people, and our God-given rights. We have a governor. His name is Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai, and his laws that he gave us. We know who we are. All praises to the Most High. This is what they want us to do. Listen to this guy here.
We are into what's going to draw people to God's kingdom. We are an international organization.
So what is that?
JW.org.
So you just standing up here to point to the website right now.
Draw people's attention. For those who would like some positive information about what's going on now and what's happening in the future,
go to that website. That's what you're here for, to point people to those websites.
For those who have questions.
Look, he think he's so smart with his little feminine self. He think he is so smart. He is so wise. And I thank God that I didn't know what to say to this. I was so furious at this cat, you know, because he think he has outsmarted God. But listen, keep listening. I got questions. I just gave you questions. Oh, so you're not up here to answer any questions?
We're not up here to get into discussions and debates.
Oh, you're up here to answer any. He's not up here to get into any discussions or debates. Look at him. He think he's so wise. He's talking so slick.
And we're giving you some answers.
Look at him. No, I'm asking you. Look at his little feminine hand movements and stuff, man. That's the devil think he's so smart. Look at him. He really telling me all. Watch his head drop, though.
Are you just interested in taking up time to...
No, I want to know what people think. Real people. You know, I want to know what real so-called black people think about the subject I just mentioned.
We are...
So you say you don't want to talk about that subject. You point me to a worldwide organization created by your slave master. He's so bright. Look at him, man. He's all full of himself. You point me to them. He's a legend in his own mind. To the question for me.
And so now you have decided to both...
They were our slave masters.
Continue on.
You pointed me to them.
And they were, I say, man, it was the white people invented that organization. Do you know that? Do you know who invented that organization?
If you're not interested,
No, I'm asking you questions.
You know, he really think he's a woman, man. He really think he's a woman. Look at him.
you're not interested. Well,
Personally.
thank you. We're not having this discussion.
So y'all don't really have to discuss anything, but a lot. It's like over 30.
They say they're not going to discuss anything, but they are so full of themselves, they can't stop talking, man.
1,000 people that I just did, showed these videos to is wondering why you guys won't talk about what you believe in. You say you just stand up here now to point us to a website.
I'm baiting them in. I'm baiting him in. Watch.
That's ridiculous. That sounds ridiculous, especially coming out of a person who your ancestors would be so oppressed, still being oppressed, shot in the streets. We are still being occupied by these people, and you said you point me to them for answers.
You would see how much love that we have experienced and the ones around the world are experiencing.
No, I see faces of white supremacy helping to enslave the rest of us.
So then you're not really here to discuss. You're just really here to dispense, and we've already given you all.
I'm here to find out what really makes you tick, and to stand up and support this.
And so,
As a real human being, not a corporation. I don't want to talk to leaders of a corporation. I want to talk to real human beings who are my brothers.
are you going to show
What makes you
respect?
tick?
Are you
Now, he want me to show him respect like he's a woman. Look at him. he think he's a woman, man. He used a woman's argument.
to me as an individual, or are you going
So
to
how would that be to show you respect?
respect is we're giving you an answer, and we'd like to
So how am I disrespecting you?
because we have given you the answer.
So I'm saying, how am I
Now
disrespecting
you
you?
are becoming increasingly disrespectful and
What's the disrespectful?
because we would like you.
You want me to move?
Good day.
You want to violate my constitutional rights and me move and not ask you questions when you're standing up here present
Watch how I bring my children and family in there. They got him right there.
something that I think is defeating black people. You want me to just give you a break and let you do this without any confrontation or protest? Just go ahead and move and let y'all do what y'all want to do to my people, my children, my ancestors, my people.
What have you done, sir?
I'm doing what I'm doing right now.
What
I'm exposing you. I'm exposing you. That's what I'm doing.
Well,
All right, man.
Exposing us.
I'm exposing lies.
Okay, now, how are you helping them?
Because truth will set you free. No, you standing here under a lie.
what is the truth? The law is the truth. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
But we're talking about the kingdom.
Where you beard at?
No, you're not. No, you're not talking about.
Look, IUIC. Where you beard at? Where you beard? Where your fringes?
Kingdom of God. You're talking about white supremacy. The kingdom of God is the Israelites. And you know that. It talks in the Bible. The Israelites are the chosen people. You're supposed to be waking them up, telling them who they are, and showing them their contract that they have via their forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're supposed to be showing them that because you know we were scattered and lost, and our heritage taken away, and they hid us under the guise of the white Caesar Borgia posing as Jesus Christ. You know,
I was fresh in the ministry, boy, but the Spirit was giving it to me.
this black, you still got all these white faces up here representing godly people.
Look,
And you know they are not godly people. They're the Edomites. You know that. And you stand up here just like Stephen, man. You stand up here, man, just like those coons that those slave masters hired to deceive us. Y'all standing up here so proud, face shaved. You don't have your beards on. You're not trying to act like Israelites. And you say you know you're Israelites. And you say that don't matter. And I don't understand how you could do that. How could you be so heartless and then call me racist, mean, disrespectful, when I'm sitting up here trying to bring the truth back to our nation. They shooting us down in the streets, and this is what y'all give us? Man, y'all should have war paint on your faces. They're in a war against these people. Not all of them, because some of them going to get on our side even when y'all won't. But I'm exposing y'all, man. And y'all stand up and saying, go talk to the corporation owners. Y'all can't stand up for God against a wicked man like me and give me no scriptures. That's ridiculous, man. How ridiculous can y'all be, bro? How ridiculous?
Shoot. So, you know, just trying to walk down memory lane, and I'm gonna go over some other stuff, and I'm gonna keep hammering away at why it's so important to tell the truth, to get the truth out there, because we got to come back. We got to free our people from the bondage of this law. Wisdom of Solomon 2, and I think it was 10 through 13 or something like that, talks about, one of those verses talks about how their strength is in the law of justice. They're going to make up law and call it justice, and that's going to be the strength over us. So what do? We come back to and get our laws. We keep the laws of God, because, hey, you're not going to have victory. You're not going to have any kind of victory without being in fellowship with the Most High. Israelites, you're not going to do it under the curse. Okay? You're not going to get the victory. The Most High is not going to stand with you. But we keep the law, the best of our ability, and we resist the devil by presenting the true law, which is the Most High giving us godly rights. Our godly rights that we got from the Most High, which is in the Constitution, the rights of indigenous people, and that takes us away from the Jim Crow laws. Stop voting in their system. We got to stop voting in their systems. I'm getting ready to move, y'all, buying me a house. So I got a lot of work to do here. We got to get out of their system. And I see some of the brothers that's been kind of going with Roland Martin and all of them, and see Brother Phil Scott's talking about how we need to get away from their system and stop voting with them, because that's how they're keeping us locked in and dumbfounded. And if we say, hey, we're gonna get it through their system of voting and not come back to our own government, then they don't owe us nothing. If we say y'all brought us here, they don't owe us nothing. They didn't bring us here. If we say this ain't our land, y'all killed all the Native Americans, we're doing exactly what they set up. They set up that to happen. We say, this is the Hispanics' land. All of California is the Hispanics. We're doing exactly what they set up. They planned it like that. The Native Americans are those white, pale-faced, $5 Indians out there. Y'all killed most. Look what you did to them. Then what about them 200 families, free men, 250,000 free men have family farms at the end of slavery. Those were black Native men. Then you took their land saying that. So we got to get back, man. Kui Mayo, IUIC, some people in Sakari, and funny man, Dane Calloway. Beautiful research, but he's a kook. He's a kook in every other area, but his research stands flawless. Okay? So, all praises to the Most High. I hope this video will help somebody to come back and do what's right according to the Most High. We got to gather up. Remember Hosea 1 and 10 and 11. Okay? We need to be gathering up. And in wherever we're bound at, we need representatives that's going to take us before these governments and lead us back to our God-given rights and our civil rights, and start demanding them to respect us according to who we are. That's the First Amendment, right? The First Amendment. We have the right to assemble. We have the right. Look through all. I'm going to have to go back and just start reading those rights of indigenous people. God created us all, right? He created the earth for our sake. Wherever we set our feet at is ours. So you can't say this ain't ours, this ain't your home. You're taking our land from us. You're taking our rights to be here and taking our rights to stand up and demand that they don't have the right to make laws and to make us keep them. It's as simple as that, man. If y'all dudes is not going to get out here and teach that, then y'all the cowards that people say y'all are. You got to be ready to die, man, for freedom, man. All praises to the Most High.